If we know anything about the movie industry, it's that Hollywood loves its sequels. That much is obvious from the way we're constantly bombarded with trailers, posters, promos, and news stories about upcoming franchise films. But even as we're being inundated with info about retreads, revivals, and follow-ups, there are quite a few Part 2s and beyond that have successfully stayed under the radar. And while we may take it for granted that every superhero adventure and action blockbuster has more franchise filler to come, some long gestating reunions or odds-defying continuations might totally surprise you. From indie comedies to action epics, let's take a look at some of the sequels you didn't know were being made. Number 7 is The Downton Abbey 2. After the hit British TV series Downton Abbey successfully transitioned to the big screen, continuing the story of the Crawley family and their household staff in 2019, Focus Features confirmed in 2021 that a second film is in the works. The original announcement confirmed the return of the entire cast, along with newcomers Hugh Dancy, Laura Haddock, Natalie Bay, and Dominic West. It also revealed that the film would release around Christmas 2021. However, a few months later, the film got bumped down the road a bit to spring of 2022. The first official teaser trailer indicates that the story will see the Crawley family headed to a villa in the south of France, presumably temporarily, and will also include the wedding of Tom Branson, Leach, and Lucy Smith, Middleton. Downton Abbey 2 hits theaters on March 18, 2022. Number 6 is Knives Out 2. Although 2019's wildly fun whodunit Knives Out was written in a pretty self-contained way, telling the story of the affluent Thrombey family and how they dealt with the mysterious death of their patriarch Harlan Thrombey, Christopher Plummer, director Rian Johnson wasted no time in letting audiences know that he'd be open to a sequel, telling Collider, "If this movie does even okay, I will in a heartbeat make more of these with Daniel." As it turned out, Knives Out did a lot better than okay, bringing in more than $300 million worldwide and justifying not one but 2 sequels, which will go directly to Netflix. While no release date has been set for either Knives Out sequel, the ensemble cast is shaping up to be every bit as impressive as that of the first film. With Catherine Hahn, Dave Bautista, Janelle Monáe, all signing on to appear in the second film, playing characters that, according to Bautista, are even more quirky than the characters in the first one. Keep an eye out for this mystery flick in fall 2022. Number 5 is Puss in Boots 2. Audiences were first introduced to the character of Puss in Boots in 2004's Shrek 2, where the ferocious feline was hired as an assassin to take out the titular ogre. Of course, he never managed to carry out his mission, and the film ended with the 2 characters on the same side. Voiced by Antonio Banderas, Universal deemed the character of Puss in Boots popular enough to warrant his own spin-off, which was released in 2011. Set before the events of Shrek 2, Puss in Boots fleshed out the character's origin story. It went on to earn an Oscar nomination for Best Animated Feature. The sequel will be called Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and it will follow the courageous kitty, now on his 9th life, as he searches for the mythical last wish that he hopes will restore the other 8. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is set to release on September 23, 2022. Number 4 is Disenchanted. In 2007, Disney captivated audiences with Enchanted, a princess story with a twist. The animated Princess Giselle, Amy Adams, accidentally tumbles into real-world, live-action New York City. Although Giselle eventually found her happy ending with single dad Robert, Patrick Dempsey, that didn't stop talk of a sequel from spinning soon after the film's release. While the sequel, titled Disenchanted, was slow getting off the ground, the production is now full steam ahead and will be premiering exclusively on Disney+. As for the cast, Enchanted stars Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey will be returning for the sequel, along with co-stars Idina Menzel and James Marsden, who got married in the cartoon kingdom of Andalasia at the end of Enchanted. Additionally, Gabriella Baldacchino will be stepping into the role of the teenage Morgan, who was played by Rachel Covey in the first film. Disenchanted will debut on Disney+ in the fall of 2022. Number 3 is 4 Avatar sequels. James Cameron has been talking about Avatar sequels almost from the moment the first film exploded onto screens in 2009, smashing box office records and eventually becoming the highest-grossing film of all time, a title it's since contested with Avengers: Endgame. However, despite years of Cameron's repeated promises, which ballooned over time from a modest 2 Avatar sequels to a whopping 4 sequels, it was beginning to feel as though a follow-up was as far off and unreachable as the fictional moon of Pandora. No one knows, but James Cameron and his eclectic cast, which, in addition to original Avatar stars Weaver, Zoe Saldana, and Sam Worthington, also include newcomers Edie Falco, Kate Winslet, Michelle Yeoh, Jermaine Clement, and Vin Diesel. The rest of us will have to wait a while to find out. Avatar: The Way of Water is scheduled for release on December 17, 2022, with Avatar: The Seed Bearer arriving on December 22, 2024. Avatar: The Tulkun Rider following on December 19, 2026. And Avatar: The Quest for Eywa concluding the franchise on December 17, 2028. Number 2 is Murder Mystery 2. After earning its crown as the most popular Netflix film of 2019, it shouldn't come as a surprise twist that Murder Mystery is getting a sequel. The original film starred Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston as a married couple who find themselves wrapped up in a murder mystery aboard a billionaire's yacht. Sandler and Aniston will both be reprising their roles as Nick and Audrey Spitz, respectively, for the sequel, which will bring together a new ensemble cast for a whodunit that will film in both the Caribbean and Paris. Considering that the Spitzes stumbled into their first murder mystery mostly by chance, it will be interesting to see how they wind up entrenched in another. And the number 1 sequel that we didn't know were in the making is Sherlock Holmes 3. Yes, Sherlock is back. Although rumor has it that a third Sherlock Holmes film starring Robert Downey Jr. has always been part of the Warner Bros. plan. The actor has spent the past decade anchoring the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Saving the world every couple years is a draining gig, and Downey's superhero commitments kept him from being able to take on the detective role for a third time. However, now that Downey has finally exited the MCU for good, save, perhaps, for an encore appearance in Black Widow, he finally has time to team up with Watson, Jude Law, also expected to return, and solve one more case. The third Sherlock Holmes film will be helmed by Rocketman director Dexter Fletcher, a departure from the first 2 films, which were both directed by Guy Ritchie. The script comes from Narcos creator Chris Brancato, with Susan Downey, Joel Silver, Dan Lin, and Lionel Wigram producing. While Sherlock Holmes 3 was originally scheduled to release on Christmas Day, 2020, it's since been delayed due to the uncertainty caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. While the film won't make its Christmas 2021 release, at the moment, it's suspected Sherlock Holmes 3 will hit theaters sometime in 2022. If you like it and want to watch more about latest trends in the world of entertainment, showbiz and celebrities, please hit the subscribe button.